What did Dale see that day? You be the judge.
In this 12-minute long video, the man screams in different demonic tones as the priest continues reciting the Bible, and at the end, we can see the man finally begins to regain consciousness.
Hey guys, check out this amazing video of what looks like a NASA alien recovery van. Spotted in Florida, guys. That's right, in Orlando, Florida, guys.
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and 7-up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. This is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you're watching ETV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But I had to come through for y'all today, man. Today is my great solar return. Happy birthday to myself, man. Blessings. We hitting that big 33 today. But I ain't gonna hold you. Hype the video up as well. I got some more shout outs coming in the next couple videos. Y'all gotta bear with me. We got a little bit of a longer video today, but I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
She was at church when she hears this. A disturbing video was taken this last Friday the 20th at the Catholic Church Our Lady of Grace in Greensboro, North Carolina, where a woman named Sandy entered the building when she began to hear multiple demonic screams coming from a man. Scared, she records the haunting scene and prays. But after a few minutes pass, she goes and gets a priest for help. In this 12-minute long video, the man screams in different demonic tones as the priest continues reciting the Bible, and at the end, we can see the man finally begins to regain consciousness. Exorcisms remain one of the least understood rituals in the world, and when multiple voices speak to a single man, it raises a chilling question: what was really inside him?
It's power and prayer, bro. I told y'all this already.
This video out. Dude was walking home when he noticed something odd about this person. Look closely. I don't have the original soundbite, but you can tell he does something to get her attention. And when she turns around and realizes he's recording, she shuns away immediately. Notice her eyes and her teeth. She reminds you of one of the vampires in Blade. She's truly like nothing I've ever seen. Part human, part demon possibly. I don't even know how to explain it. She's absolutely terrifying. Then notice, as she pulls her hands out of her pockets, you can see that the tips of her fingers from about mid-knuckle up are black. Black as night. They almost look as if they've been frostbitten from the knuckle up.
Facts, bro. I remember that clip. She looked crazy as a...
Hey guys, check out this amazing video of what looks like a NASA alien recovery van. Spotted in Florida, guys. That's right, in Orlando, Florida, guys. It was spotted at a hotel parking lot, and it was bouncing up and down. No one knows why it was bouncing. We can't tell if the video is actually real or possibly just, you know, some type of AI generated video. We're still going to label it as AI, but it could be real. It's going around the internet. It's trending. Some van that says alien recovery on it, like if there's an alien inside fighting against the staff that's trying to transport it. Could that be a possibility? Whose van is this, guys? Does this belong to NASA, or is this just something completely different? There's been a lot going on in 2026 with aliens and prophecies and all sorts of stuff, but whatever this is definitely something extremely weird. Some people in the comments are saying it's aliens. Other people saying it's NASA, that they actually have a recovery team for aliens. But whatever it is, when I first seen the video, I kind of laughed. I thought it was kind of creepy. But whether this is a hoax or this is AI or it's real, if it is, we have a problem. You know, with the government coming forward and saying he wants to disclose UFOs, we got people like JD Vance calling them demons. I mean, could the demons be inside this NASA alien recovery vehicle? And why is it driving around Florida? Has anybody else seen this van driving in the state of Florida? It was also reported in Georgia. Somebody in Atlanta, Georgia reported it. The van has also been seen, believe it or not, guys, in California, places like LA. And then there's one last report of it actually being seen in North Carolina. So I don't know what's going on with this van, guys. Is this real NASA employees transporting these so-called non-human biologics that they're saying we have? Are these the hide birds? Are they inside these vans? Is that what we're doing now? Is NASA, you know, recovering aliens? I mean, if they are, I want to know. A lot of people are going to laugh because, you know, to see a van like this in public, guys, why would you even put that you're an alien recovery force or police from NASA? Why would you put that on the van? Why would you specify that? Isn't that giving yourself away? So once again, guys, I question the authenticity of this video. I will probably be labeling this one as AI, and maybe it's not. But if anybody knows, please let me know if you've seen this van before. Is NASA really recovering aliens in this huge white van? And guys, comment below, why is it shaking back and forth? We want to know your thoughts.
I feel like it's fake. They just leading us to disclosure.
What the hell was that?
Well, a guy that encourage a scientist for try and make a couple of spacecraft go to the moon, you know. Not Christ government, if not tell you, better we make a couple more houses, I better we try plant some more food and get the earth people in living condition.
Rest in peace to Bob Marley, man. Shout out to Alex Marley, too. I ain't tapped in with you in a minute, bro. Tap in with me.
We remember small things like being in a shower with Dave.
I mean, you started at like 6 months old or something, right?
On Full House, we were 6 months old. And then from there, just kind of...
But don't they usually get rid of the babies?
Andy, you can come in now. Hey, anybody order a pizza? Anybody order pizza?
that he did a lot of inappropriate jokes. Do you remember the jokes when you were on set?
They were very inappropriate. They were being in a shower.
Anybody order pizza?
With Dave.
If I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I...
Trump, NASA's back. Tomorrow, this mission's going off. The 127th mission to the space station. Mike and Sonia, the two of the four American astronauts that are on that flight, they're right out of central casting. But what happened, Sean? You talked about the moon.
Come again, he just said what about the astronauts?
That flight, they're right out of central casting.
Central Casting is a prominent American casting agency founded in 1925 that specializes in providing background actors, stand-ins and photo doubles for films, television and media productions. And hey, completely unrelated, look at this picture that they took from their moon mission going 25,000 miles per hour through the vacuum of space. Why is that river so huge? Most importantly, if they are from Central Casting, then is this a real image?
They're right out of central casting.
Just for entertainment though, they're clearly up there in space. What am I talking about? I'm just a random guy on the internet. I'm as fictional as the moon landings, baby.
This is all for entertainment. Nothing we say is true.
That of a secret government, accountable to not a single elected official, including apparently the president himself. A shadowy government with its own Air Force, its own Navy, its own fundraising mechanism, and the ability to pursue its own ideas of the national interest, free from all checks and balances, and free from the law itself. It is an elitist vision of government that trusts no one, not the people, not the Congress, and not the cabinet. It is a vision of a government operated by persons convinced they have a monopoly on truth.
You know that reptilians and Draco, the blood sacrifices, the whole Luciferian thing, the kids being killed and eaten. I mean, that humans have been eaten and taken off planet, et cetera, and used for slaves in other colonies, etc.
I hate to say that, but that's far worse than what you've just said.
It's far worse.
Yes, far worse.
Far worse, yeah.
And that the whole blood situation is it's unbelievable, and
right.
I don't know how we say that to the public. I don't know how. But
well,
wait a minute, just a second on that part of this whole subject. To me, if we get into that, and I know all about it, okay,
all right,
far more than you know.
Sure,
all right?
I'm sure.
When we get into that, if we release it, 70-80% of everybody that listens to your program is going to say, you're smoking. I don't believe that, and I don't believe anything you people talk about on extraterrestrial. And it's going to kill what disclosure is trying to do. That's my opinion.
Know the is starting to be exposed everywhere. You know that much is coming out.
Oh, yeah. But you know the part that I don't want to talk about.
I hear you.
Okay.
Can anyone explain why this is happening when I open my Band-Aids?
Oh.
Normal Target Band-Aid. Okay. Look at the sides when I peel it open.
That is weird.
What is that? Do you see that? It glows. Like, this is mind-blowing to me.
Are my Band-Aids like radioactive? Or have I lived 41 years and didn't know that's what happens when you opened Band-Aids?
What if they are radioactive?
Have you ever been able to remote view?
I don't want to talk about that.
No? I'm not saying it on camera. Good question.
What can you say about remote viewing?
I can tell you this, that you got to be careful with remote viewing because you have sentinels who are patrolling who comes into that space. And if you disobey them, they can trap your soul, basically.
Damn. Meaning what? Like,
yeah, so if you go remote viewing in a restricted area, if you keep coming back, they can trap your consciousness someplace. There are people in hospitals right now in comas who's remote viewing and they got trapped someplace else.
What the fuck? Check out Area 51.
No, they got a blockade. I heard
they got a blockade
around
Area 51 and Mount Shasta.
You could stop remote viewing?
They got people. All right. They have. All right. No.
He said, all right.
But the moon came up, among other things. And he said, listen, after Swan was sent, we kept sending people to the moon, remote viewers. And we distinctly got the message from these guys on the moon, do not keep sending people here. This is off limits. And we didn't listen to them. And the last viewer that we sent up there, his soul is trapped on the moon. His body is in a coma in a special medical facility run by the CIA. And his family has been given like medical compensation or whatever. They told him, like, they told his family that the guy had died in the line of duty or whatever. And he's been held in stasis for years and years as they wait for his soul to come back from the moon, where apparently there's the capacity to lure and trap somebody's consciousness, which they finally did to one of these CIA remote viewers after repeatedly telling them not to surveil whatever's going on up there.
I ain't tried no remote viewing, nor do I intend to. I will listen to other people's experiences, but bro, that ain't some shit that I'm about to play with. I'll be honest with you. It's like some Get Out shit. Reminds me of the movie Insidious in a way. But then again, I heard this thing that when we dream, our soul travels, which leaves your body open and susceptible to entities, shit like that. Let your mind run where it want to run. But that's what I also heard. It just all makes too much sense. But somebody can disagree if you like. Let me know your thoughts, man. Shit get crazy.
My Owen Wilson and Tom Cruise video is blowing up and you guys have some really good questions. A lot of the questions seem to be about how their height is different, their eyes are different, their nose is different. How could it be the same person? They're different ages, they're different heights. And the answer to your question is, I don't know. I haven't got a clue what's going on. Why does Mark Ruffalo look exactly like the guy from The Princess Diaries? Why does Scarlett Johansson look exactly like Christopher Walken? I don't know. Why does Britney Spears look exactly like Marilyn Monroe? Why does Christina Aguilera look like Cyndi Lauper? I don't know. Then there's Humphrey Bogart and Ben Affleck. How would the ages even work? But they're identical. Then there's Martin Sheen and Corey Feldman, identical faces. Then there's the whole thing with gender, which that got my last account removed, so I'm not going to go into it. All I'll do is show you this picture, which I took this morning directly from Netflix. And the one thing I forgot to post in my last video was the scar. Tom Cruise has, as you can see, it looks like it's been broken. And so this top part here is exactly the same. And then Owen Wilson would have, I don't know, prosthetics or something. A lot of people said that they were in the same films together, that they've met both of them, that they're different people. I think there's different people playing. It gets very confusing. So Benicio del Toro is another interesting one to me, because him, Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio are all interchangeable. There's also Tom Hanks that kind of seems to get involved sometimes as well. So sometimes Benicio del Toro looks exactly like Brad Pitt. Sometimes he looks like Leo DiCaprio. And it's weird that when Benicio del Toro is with Leonardo DiCaprio, he looks exactly like Brad Pitt and vice versa. Maybe if they're signed to a certain film company, maybe they put prosthetics on and use the same actors that are signed to their agency. I don't know. All I know is that I did watch a film with Charlize Theron in it, and I noticed that it seemed to be that the Charlize Theron character was being played by Angelina Jolie. Uma Thurman. And then at the premiere, when Charlize Theron was standing next to Uma Thurman, it looked like it was being played by Sharon Stone. I don't know why they would do that. So yes, I have a lot more questions than answers. I'm just as confused as you are. It's all so weird. I don't know what's going on.
She was on to some shit with that one.
So many people believe that Northwest, Kanye West's daughter, actually just did an initiation ritual with the Freemasons. This is the symbol on the wall that she's performing in front of. Y'all recognize this? Anybody? It's one of the most prominent symbols in Freemasonry. Now, keep this in mind. You say to yourself, well, she's 12 years old, she's performing, she's at this venue that has this thing on the wall. That's not her fault. She didn't know. And maybe you're right. Maybe she did not know. But the adults that set this up, they definitely knew. What's even worse is people keep thinking this stuff is fake. I keep telling them over and over again, it's not fake, it's real. These ceremonies exist. These initiation rituals are real. But there was one more comment that really got my attention. It says, this is what y'all call Kanye crazy for predicting what's going to happen if she lived with Kim. Kind of hard to disagree with this at this point. Tell me what you think in the comments.
I had to pause the Netflix documentary about the guy who went to India to get his eye color changed at that really sketchy place. I literally had to pause it when he woke up and he had the wrong eye color. I was like, oh my God. No, I have to go on a walk. This is awful. This is awful. This is like, you know what? I can't even compare it to a horror movie. It's worse than a horror movie. What? You're telling me he walked in there and there were like 2 other people already in the room getting a procedure. So they had 3 people in this room getting operated on, getting their eyes sliced open, eyes plural, and okay, no gloves from some of the people as well. And you're just supposed to be chill with that. Like, yeah, go ahead, lay down. And then you wake up and, oh, it's the wrong color. And then they told him, when he told them it was the wrong color, they were like, oh, well, we actually gave the guy next to you the wrong color too. It looks like we mixed him up. So how about we just switch them? Yeah, how about we just slide it out of his eye and slide it right into yours? Yeah.
A massive UFO spotted hovering over Astana, Kazakhstan. This large anomaly was captured on video in the skies on Easter 2026. Like and follow.
The shit we capture on camera nowadays, it's crazy.
Jake Paul, he lost his damn mind. We all seen the skit that Drewski did, right? Jake Paul is trying to justify him doing blackface because of what Drewski did. Jake, I know you a self-proclaimed boxer, but don't get your ass. Boxing different than the streets, my boy. What Drewski did and blackface is 2 totally different things. Y'all know the history of this, but listen to what Jake Paul said.
Because
I've
been, over the last couple of days, calling makeup artists.
Calling.
I was gonna do a response to this and like go and do like the full on darker. Yeah.
For what?
And just do it back.
Why are you so mad?
Yeah.
This shit is crazy. Drewski got these people so mad that this man, Jake Paul, was contemplating for 2 days to call up so he could do blackface. He trying to make it seem like it's the same thing when it's not. And then he had the nerve to say he could just try to get one of the comedy people to agree with it, or people that has a big name like Charles Barkley. What?
I'm not even gonna say what's right and what's wrong. I'm gonna just say, when people do stupid shit, you don't gotta do stupid shit too. Like I said, if somebody jump off a bridge, would you jump too? Only time you react is when somebody really physically hit your ass, then you physically hit their ass back. That's it. Other than that, bro, when people do certain antics, say certain shit, like, bro, you don't feed into that and go back and forth. But that's what's wrong with the world, though. See how he's like, I was gonna do this and I was gonna do that, and that was gonna be my, you wanna do this, well, I'm gonna get back. Like, bro, live your life as you please. But this is why the world's so fucked up now.
This young kid hears the voice of a demon during a ritual practice done on Big Boy's radio station. Let me show you this.
What was the experience that you had?
There's like this low voice who kept saying like the rappers. Can I say the name or no?
For the record, there's no way that he could know.
You got the name.
I got the name.
Okay.
What name do you think he thought of? I read Big's mind. You're gonna read his mind. What name do you think it is?
Snoop Dogg.
Is he right?
He's right. He's absolutely right. Wow. 1000% right. No bullshit. Car said Snoop on it.
Oh my God. And you could hear that?
Excuse my language too, little man. My bad. I swear to God, there's like a voice like telling me, saying the rapper's name.
It's
Snoop Dogg.
It said the rapper's name.
It's Snoop Dogg.
Yo,
like,
this is...
I swear.
Should we keep going?
Yeah, we should keep going.
So as we were watching that, many people missed it, but I want you to pay attention because as you're gonna see, the demon was speaking to this psychic and also reading the mind of this boy at the same time. Let me show you this.
It said Snoop on it. Oh my God.
And you could hear that?
Excuse my language too, little man. My bad. I swear to God, there's like a voice like telling me, saying the rapper's name. It's Snoop Dogg.
It said the rapper's name.
Did y'all see his mouth moving? Did you see how he was reading the boy's words through his mouth as he was saying it? And many people still don't believe that this stuff is real, but I tell y'all all the time, you got to be careful about what you watch, be careful about who you entertain and the things that you do.
So Tremonte Gibson is accused of shooting 5 people in Riviera Beach, Florida. But I want to highlight something that stood out to me of what he said. Y'all, let's listen and watch.
People in their head, they're not making it back. My cousin, who posted that dude that hit the floor, oh yeah, he died. A lot of people were shot in the head, sir, and whipped back up right in front of my face. The people that were supposedly killed, they didn't die. Nobody died, obviously, right? Nah, nobody died, sir. How can you put someone in jail that's fighting something that you can't see? When I was on the highway driving, it's 3 cars. What's the devil's number? 6, right? It's 3 cars that pop up. 1, 2, 3. And I shot every one of people. Nah, shut up, man. Let me talk. I can't talk to the judge, bro. I'm talking what I can, what my heart need to tell whoever listening, bro. Okay, let me talk. Okay, I don't even need you, sir. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do not need you. Please, can you please tell me shut up, judge, please? I can't even talk. You not even. Thank you, sir. I'm fighting something I can't even see.
Ephesians 6:12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Many folks would just say this young man is using that as an excuse, but you can't dismiss what this young man have said. This young man needs prayers. This young man needs ministered to in the gospel, and I believe he did see things. And if you further watch the clip, he said he even see it on the judge's face.
I'm fighting something I can't even see. I see it at night. I see it now looking at you. I don't know how to fight it, sir. When I was in Stony Brook, sir, and I had that gun, that wasn't my gun, first off. I'm talking to that dude right there, the judge right there. I'm talking to him. I'm not worried about nothing what nobody's saying.
Y'all, this story right here breaks my heart. I grew up around the area where this alleged shooting has happened. This is why the young people need the gospel of Jesus Christ.
I want to talk about the Satanic Panic.
Sure. So the Satanic Panic was basically a conspiracy theory where they believed that there were thousands of criminal Satanists that hurt children in these like evil rituals. There was a family called the Kellers, and they ran a daycare, and there was this panic at the daycare that they were Satanists. So they asked this kid, they take you anywhere scary? And the kid goes, yeah, they took me to the cemetery. They cut open my arm and they took out my arm bone and they put in the arm bone the devil. And this story doesn't make any sense, but if you ask real little kids weird questions, they'll give you weird answers. The Kellers made a really bad decision, which was they saw what had happened in the McMartin preschool trial. So they decided to flee town. Well, innocent people don't flee town. So they were arrested, and I think they did 20 years in prison. And then they finally said, wait a second, none of this really happens, right? So they were released only a few years ago. The crimes that they were convicted of never actually occurred.
I gotta listen to that whole story again.
This lady was a witch until one night she realized she was working with demons. Play the video.
Because witchcraft is easy to do when you think, I'm working with universal energies, I'm working with spirit guides and, aliens maybe. But witchcraft is real hard to do when you realize I'm working in the demonic realm and they want to steal, kill, and destroy me. I remember that night, I'm going to bed and I see this dark figure and it's got a dark face, it's hunched over, it's in a red robe and a crown of thorns. And I think to myself, that's not Jesus. I've driven myself insane. I just need to go to bed and cool off on all this. Nothing in my mind thinks it's a demon because I don't believe in demons. And then I'm trying to lay down and go to bed and sleep paralysis comes over me again. Because this time I'm levitating about 4 feet out of my body. And I can't say I felt afraid or sad because it was this overwhelming sense of hopelessness. While I'm levitating outside my body, it's a sensation of I'm being ripped. I'm being ripped out and something's trying to come in. And I'm forced, as I'm outside of my body, to look to one side and I see my child getting horribly, and I can't look away. I can't close my eyes. I can do nothing. I'm paralyzed. I just have to watch. Like in slow motion, I'm turned to see the other side and it's my other child being graphically in a different way. And I can do nothing but watch.
Y'all check this out. Tell me what y'all think.
Why don't we see any land when we're looking down at the ocean from the space station?
Because you're over top of ocean.
Okay, well, don't you think they could be fooling us with this picture?
Okay, I give you this.
Wait, watch the picture.
I know that.
Watch the picture.
I know
Watch
that they
the picture.
airbrushed some stuff.
It's not
up.
airbrushed. This is us in our front yard on a solar panel, and we tricked you, showing you how easy. We have zero budget. They have $65 million a day, and I tricked you. What about this? NASA says, these are new planets, okay? Would you believe? Why would you believe that?
Why wouldn't you?
Because they're frying pans. They're the bottom of frying pans. Again, zero budget. Zero budget. Here are 4 moons. And before the hand picks up the moon, tell me, is it sphere or not a sphere? Is that a sphere? Quick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it looks like a sphere, but it's actually a half a cup. How about this one? Is this one a sphere?
You're showing us half a sphere then on all of them.
It looks like a sphere, but it's not either. It's flat. What I'm saying is, first, even if they were all spheres, it doesn't dictate the shape of the Earth. I've been lying to you this entire time. I'm on the space station. Okay? Prove me wrong. I'm on the space station.
And I'm in Hollywood right now too.
Yeah, but that's a painting. That's not even a real picture.
You're floating, Dave.
Look here. The Earth is a globe. Here's the proof. I got this cartoon over here. All right.
These fake niggas ain't gonna like me. Cause a nigga.
Y'all come back here.
Hey, come to the back.
If you are a customer, go to the back.
Oh, shit.
Go.
Hello?
This is insane. We come to the resort. There's not a soul in here. All the rooms are open, like this one.
I wouldn't trust it. Just like I wouldn't trust that room in the back of the house.
Every time I see a video about the GATE program, that shit sends me down another rabbit hole. Because what did those people do to us? Let me ask you something. Were you in the GATE program growing up? Gifted and talented program. Yeah, I was too. And I'm not gonna lie. The older I get, the more that shit don't sit with me. Because think about it. How the hell did they know at 8 years old that you were gifted? And yeah, don't say because you read good or you was good in math. I was good in all of them. But the shit don't make sense. And don't act like you don't remember. They used to pull us out the classroom and give you different work. Watch you a little closer than everybody else. That shit wasn't normal. That was observation. I heard somebody say, remember when they made you put the earphones on your ear and listen to those sounds? You remember that shit? What was that? Like, was they programming us? Like, what was it? And this is where the shit gets crazy. What about the theory they had that kids were being tested for psychic abilities? That shit was never about smart kids. That shit was about identifying certain minds early. The shit that spooks me out right now to this day is the mole on the left arm shit. If you have a mole on your left arm, you was in the gifted and talented program. I have a mole on my left arm. I remember being in the gifted and talented program. That shit was like a physical marker. And this is for entertainment purposes only. Educational purposes only. But what was the CIA doing? What were they trying to accomplish? They wasn't teaching you. They were studying you. Mind you, I remember being in that program. My mom's always talked about it because she like, yo, my son is smarter than everybody. This ain't the first video I made about this. I made other videos about this. But it's like every time I see a video about this, I have to say something because this shit, I just don't, I don't understand this shit. What did they do, man? Why did they have us in that program? I'm out.
Boy, do I have a picture for you. Dale from Tifton, Georgia, contacted me this morning and he said, I got something that's going to blow your socks off. And I got picture proof of what I saw. So I'm like, okay, what you got, Dale? And he said, you know how you've been doing these stories about the Jeepers Creepers character? He's like, what would you do if I told you that I have 2 of them that I caught on film going after my birds? And I didn't know what he meant by that. So I'm like, give me more. He's like, well, I was in my kitchen window finishing up breakfast. It was a beautiful summer day. He said, I heard my geese going crazy. He has like geese and ducks, I guess he raises. And he said, I heard an awful ruckus coming from the pasture. He said, I looked outside and he goes, first thing I thought was, why is there cranes in with the birds? But then he realized these weren't cranes, these were birds. But these birds had legs and they had arms like the humankind. And he said, the first thing I thought of when I saw these things were the Jeepers Creepers movie. And then I saw your videos about the Jeepers Creepers. He's like, I needed to reach out to you so you could maybe do a story on this. So I said, send me a picture. I want to see what you got. I'm going to show that picture here in 1 second, but you look at this photo and you tell me what this is, because this thing has me scratching my head. Not only one of them, but 2 of them. What did Dale see that day? You be the judge.
Man, hell no. Is that Rick? We got him. Hey.
Where's the blacks at? Where's the Mexicans at? Where's the whites at? Where's the Christians at? Where's all the gangs at? Where is all the bikers at? Where is we the people at? Where is don't tread on me guys at? Listen to me close, everybody. I'm somebody that has been through these files. I have a team, and I connected with 450 other teams. When those files got released, we went to town. I have drank 40 something of these to get through it, 17 hours a day with 4 hours of sleep for 1 month. We had a group of totaled about 10,000 people, because it would take you 17 years by yourself, 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Well, we broke it down in sections, and let me tell y'all something. They're eating our children in every state. This thing is huge. This thing is ridiculous. They try and target our children 10 years or younger. It's symbolic. They send them off to people. They do a lot of horrific things. I have literally, going through this, I have shit myself, thrown up on myself, and pissed on myself, if you know what I'm talking about. I have connected the dots for years, because you know what? Do you really trust the government, everybody? And I got my answer through those files, okay? This thing's huge, and it's in every state. It's where you're at. We are completely surrounded by evil. And what we're trying to ask is that we're trying to wake people up. We need you. We need everybody we can get. Because it's us against the machine, everybody. And it's a big thing. Just like they're already trying to frame Tucker. Who's next? Sean Ryan, the Navy SEAL. He has a great program. There's cult organizations. There's hundreds of thousands of them. It's gotten so bad that they just don't care anymore. Do you hear me? They're throwing it in your face. Just on the news the other day, I'm sorry, I think it was yesterday, she walks out with a robot, people. So are you going to let your kids be raised by robots? Jesus Christ. If we don't do anything, the mark of the beast is coming. And then there goes Neuralink. Once it's in the schools, there goes the teachers, there goes the doctors, there goes judges, there's no telling. And then there goes your US dollar. And then what's next? It's all digital. So you'd have to be digital. So if you had to pay for something, they can just cut it off, because when you think outside the box, they can't stand it, right?
Listen, guys, this is to the American people. When you go get fuel, you need to wear a mask when you go get fuel. I'm not too sure on this. I'm not too sure. But I'm a person to go off data, history. And I think the most scariest thing about this is, for the first time ever, we have no data. We have no strategy to study. This is why a lot of content creators who speak on government and political things and issues, this is why a lot of us has been quiet, because we can't identify a strategy. The only thing I can tell you is one of the strategies that always have been consistent is they'll paint a picture of to the right for you to look at and do something to the left. Our history has always taught us this. And they're painting a picture to the right about about this country having nuclear weapons and that they can't have it. But they're making this about oil. And that don't sit right with me. And then when we go to our gas pumps, when you let the fuel drip out, it's clear. And it looks almost like water. And any person, most people know, if you've even just carried gas, gas has always had a tint. And the thing that comes to my mind is harsh chemicals clean anything, and it basically takes any color out and it becomes clear. I think there's a great chance, or a chance, that we need to be wearing, when you go pump fuel, you need to have a mask on, because I believe there's a chance that we've already been attacked. I think that the American people is at cost right now to some shit we didn't even sign up for. Some shit we didn't even get a text message about. We didn't even ask to go mess with these countries. These just went. And they expected us to roll with it. And now I think that we are being attacked. And I think that the only thing that I can see that has been consistent is follow the small problem. And the small problem sounds like it's oil. And oil is made for everything. It's not just our fuel. It's also in our electricity, which means that it can be in our ventilation systems. I don't know. I'm not trying to make anyone panic and say, hey, just wear a mask everywhere around your house. I'm telling you, I do think and urge everyone, if you go pump gas, to put a mask on. Because I believe that if we are being attacked, like Iran is saying that they're attacking, I don't think it's the obvious. I don't think anything is going to drop from the sky. Our history doesn't show. This is not how they think.
Politics, the letter boys, the mafia, the mob, it's all interconnected. All these agencies are interconnected.
Democrats took over with it once John F. Kennedy was able to manipulate and utilize the fact that Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested. So they made a whole brigade.
Martin Luther King was a dangerous communist.
How would he be a communist?
Okay, here we go. Go ahead, Ro.
No, I'm asking him.
Let's get it in. Where the bell at? Who funded him?
Exactly. So the Democratic Party, because they had the mob ties with JFK. who freed him out.
And the mob did what? Kill JFK.
Exactly.
So what does the mob always do? Tie up loose ends.
Was it the mob or the FBI? Because we also had J. Edgar Hoover.
It was one of the same. The mob let Whitey Bulger run rampant. I used to work for Anthony Tolentano. That's how me and Michael Franzese got cool. The mob and the FBI was one and the same.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So,
wow.
Going further with that, Martin Luther King Jr. didn't die from the shot. He died inside the hospital because they had to smother him. Because he was still living.
This was the
with that Martin Luther King Jr. didn't die from the shot. He died inside the hospital because they had to smother him. Because he was still living.
This is what the mob do.
So that was a mob tie that did that, not the FBI. The FBI does the same exact thing. So you're saying it's one and the same.
Bro, you gotta understand, black people we still fucking slaves. It's in the government, mainly. These that got them in office with the money, because we ain't got no money.
If you got Section 8 as a single female, you can't have a man there.
No, you got a separate
Which
house.
means what? You create a group, generations of people dependent on the system. The Republicans believe on self-reliance.
Period.
Welfare don't help us.
It only destroys
They make
us.
generations of lazy people. And then you got single-family homes, so you got generations of what? Emotional thinking men.
But you preach generational wealth constantly within the Republican Party and conservatives and talking about how to preserve your family. And you want to damage and put down everybody else that's trying to preserve their own families because they don't have the means, because all the money's going to the one person that's run the corporation.
Black families used to have 14, 15 children. That's their own workforce.
Okay, but we got Mormons that are doing that right now.
Mormons have religious laws that protect them.
Okay, so blacks need to organize and create a religious law that protects themselves, is what you're saying.
Yes, Scientology did it, and that's...
This some good ass conversation they having right here, bro.
Do you know why Prince, the famous rock star that was a friend of mine, do you know why he called himself the artist when he came back? He calls himself the artist because that's what they call us in our contracts. Oh, these contracts are crazy. You should hear the terminology they say in these contracts. To use your name and likeness in perpetuity throughout the universe. Who the could possibly know what that means? Nobody does. It's so complicated, in fact, that when you're a kid like me, you have to hire somebody to tell you what that means. And you sit down at a table and you do the contract game. And that's how I got with Comedy Central. I signed the contract. But I signed the contract the way that a 28-year-old expecting father that was broke signs a contract. I was desperate. I needed a way out. And it wasn't good money and it wasn't good circumstances, but what else am I gonna do, I said. And all these white people sitting at that table told me, trust us, Dave, it's a good contract. And I looked around the table and they all seemed to agree it was a good contract. But what if it was like that game of 3-Card Monte? What if they were all friends and I didn't know it? The industry is a monster. It's the same monster that these Me Too bitches was trying to tell you about. But they hate the monster for how it f***s, and I hate that monster for how it eats. But my God, man, it's the same monster. I'm up here doing something that nobody else in this business has the balls to do. I'm telling you something that you need to know. I'm trying to explain to you what you're seeing. You don't understand what you're seeing. I am publicly flogging a network. And I know that this network niggas, they watching me and they saying, why are you doing this so publicly? Doesn't feel good to be flogged publicly. Oh, believe me, I know. I know exactly how that feels. When I quit my show, they said I was crazy. What was crazy about it? I just didn't want to do it anymore. They said I smoked crack. It's impossible. I was a devout Muslim. I didn't smoke or drink. But I do now, bitch, because you ruined my life. Now it's their turn. This is their first nigga lesson, and I'm honored to give it to them.
So that right there is when some people say all these people are on the wrong side. They all sold they self. Some know and some don't know. Some people was down so bad, somebody gave them an opportunity. They knew that they didn't have to do what they used to do, and they took the opportunity because they had mouths to feed, but didn't think it was gonna be as evil as it was. And then this shit turn around and get messed up, bro. And then they realize what they really into by that point is late. But some people, but again, I got a friend that has an issue like that, and he ain't went platinum since. And he tells me all the time he cool with it. He got his whole family, they set, but he's like, I didn't know what I was signing up for, bro. But other people so quick to judge that and be like, they did know. Well, how didn't you know? And don't look down on nobody for their mistakes. Because remember, once upon a time, your ass made some dumbass mistakes too. We all do. So don't act like you bigger than none of that shit, bro. But let me know your thoughts. Dave Chappelle's going crazy.
The world's smartest kid thinks that CERN blew the world up in 2008.
Joe Rogan has interviewed presidents, astronauts, and Nobel Prize winners. But there is one episode his audience still cannot stop talking about. Not because of who sat across from him, but because of how young they were, 13 years old. A boy from a Nevada boiler room who built his own lab from $15 worth of scavenged parts and spare wires. And when that kid started explaining what CERN is really doing inside the world's most powerful machine.
Look at what it says there. He claims that CERN destroyed the universe during recent experiments, which has resulted in us living in a nearby parallel universe instead.
Joe Rogan went completely quiet, visibly shaken quiet. Because what this boy described was not a theory a child should even know. It was a claim so specific, so technically grounded, and so deeply disturbing that no credentialed physicist has ever dared say it on record. CERN did not just discover a particle. According to the world's smartest kid, it shattered our original timeline. And we have all been living in the wrong universe ever since.
The hair of this being was red. The skin was pale, white. He said it had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot. And the feet were wrapped in a very primitive canvas type wrapping. And he said he and the guys that were standing around the body were actually taking their boots and putting it up to the foot. And he said it was, twice as big as 3 times bigger than everybody's boot. I mean, the feet were enormous. They're all putting their feet up to the foot. And he said this thing was solid as a rock. They were all kind of tapping it on the top. And he said it was like a brick. I mean, this thing was just like solid muscle. He said it could have been some rigor mortis or whatever, but I mean, it was apparent from what you could see of this dude that he was a brick house. So
how tall?
So the pallet was 9 feet long, and he's in the fetal position. So they estimated his size at 10 to 12 feet tall.
Wow.
They weighed the giant. They weighed this being because they had to weigh it. The loadmaster had to weigh it before they put it on the C-130. He weighed, the whole thing weighed, I think they told me, and I could be wrong, but I think it was 1,500 pounds. And then when you subtract all the dunnage and the pallet and whatever else, I know that the final weight was 1,100 pounds. The final weight was 11. And he told me for sure. He said the weight was, this thing weighed 1,100 pounds. And so you can imagine, let's say it was 12 feet tall, 1,100 pounds. So, I mean, this thing weighs more than like a Kodiak bear. I mean, it's a massive, massive guy. And then, he was asking about the body, like, where'd you guys get this thing? And they told him that they had heard, they didn't know, they didn't have firsthand knowledge. They heard that a group of guys got lost somewhere out in Afghanistan, that this group was out there. These military guys were out there doing something, recon or something like that, and they weren't reporting back in. So they sent out another group to look for them. Another team went out to look for that first team. And when that second team found them, they found them either at the mouth of a cave or in a cave. I can't remember where, but it was in the vicinity of a cave. And they were all dead. And this gigantic humanoid was eating on one of them.
I want to hear more about that story.
David,
Oh my God, what happened with him?
Well, he brought caskets to his shows.
His shows, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of like entertainers do that.
They do that, yeah. Very famous singer. I know somebody who was bodyguarding for him. He was saying that a very famous singer, I think it was his birthday, and they, you know how they have like the sparkler, the bottle girls, they come out with the sparklers and all of that. So then he said they literally brought out a casket in the club.
Weird.
Very weird.
This shit is so weird. Like,
Yeah.
why would
So
you be in a
strange.
club with a casket celebrating death?
And then there's these weird, like, vampire-looking dudes that came out, and he went in this room with them, and then he said when he came back out, he was just acting weird. So I don't know.
Well, you said that before. You said that the vampires run the nightclub scene.
Yeah, well, the reason I met a vampire that was mortal was because I was trying to get tickets to a nightclub. Yeah.
Wow.
And
There
they
you go.
directed me to this guy. Okay, another story. I was astral stalked by another vampire before I met that one. And they stalked me in my dream, and then I met them like 2 days after. I think I told you this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met them like 2 days after, and
So astral stock. So he's
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, exactly. So do you feel like he like drew you
Yes.
to him?
Were you freaked out when you met him?
yeah, like freaked out on a conscious level and subconscious level, every level.
How was he
Predatory.
acting? Was he like, yeah, it's me?
It was more so just like an eye contact and then walking the other way.
Oh,
That's weird.
Shit.
That's
That's
weird.
even crazier. That's even
Yeah.
scarier because they don't even say nothing. They just look at you.
contact?
Yeah.
The other person I spoke to who had similar experiences, he was brought to some place in Boston that he said the vampire I met was in Salem, which is 30 minutes away from Boston. This person said that he had to go to Boston to meet with like somebody high up in the order or something. So I would assume that there's quite a few vampires living in Massachusetts.
That's what I was gonna say. What's up with Salem? Because I've heard
Witches.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Salem witch
Salem
trials.
witch trial.
So you look at the U.S. map. There is a division to where East Coast is a lot of vampires,
Yes.
and then the West Coast is UFOs, aliens.
Yeah.
And it totally makes sense based off of the states and geographically where everything happened. Because like on the West Coast we have
Sunny.
Roswell, here in Nevada, tons of UFO activity, and then 80% of the land in Nevada is owned by the government, which makes sense. Area 51. This is alien land.
And that's vampire land?
And it's vampire
Makes
land.
sense because East doesn't have as much sunlight and it's
just
a little
take
bit more gloomy. and-
I'll just take a cold glass of water. I'm good.
I would go further even to say that this side, the West Coast, is more of these extraterrestrials, interdimensionals. They follow a different set of rules than the old world creatures, which are vampires, witches. It's different.
For sure.
They're more advanced here, and that's why I don't like it here.
Selena apparently has fired her mom as a manager and hired Kris Jenner. Selena's mom says that Kris Jenner performed witchcraft on Selena and that Selena is not herself anymore. Something happened here where she sold herself, but I think she's coming back now to expose what's going on.
Oh my God, I forgot that I had made that video on January 4th of 2023. I don't know if you guys could see, it was very up at the top. It had the date. January 4th of 2023, I was talking about Justin and Selena and giving up their baby. And then I totally forgot that Selena's mom had said that Kris Jenner had done some witchcraft on her and that Selena is no longer who she used to be. What? How did I forget that? That is insane. I can't believe that I've been talking about this since 2023. That was on my Alexer's Facts account, which did get taken down because that's where I started my Britney theory about her being AI and about how all of these kids were passed along in the industry. I was talking about Disney. I was talking about, you know, all of them. I was saying everything and then how the government was involved. And so that's why they came after that page and took it down, because I was talking about it back when the files were not out and we were not allowed to talk about this stuff. Now, this is a crazy theory, but when don't I have a crazy theory? So this is Selena's cousin, and
Yeah, that's one of them rabbit holes. I told y'all I had my mind.
If you are a negative person, I don't care why you're negative. I don't care if you've been watching too much TV, whatever the reason. If you're negative, if you're hateful, if you're jealous, your brain is producing these chemicals. These chemicals, aka neurotransmitters, are being dispensed into your body. And then what your cells is doing is this. Let's say if I got a cell and my cell has 5 receptors. It got a receptor for love. It got 5 receptors each. 5 for love, 5 for happiness, 5 for joy, 5 for misery, and then 5 for hate. If you miserable and you hateful more than you the other 3, when this cell divides, it's going to have 15 for hate, 15 for jealousy, 2 for love, 2 for happiness, 2 for joy. And so now what you're literally doing is you're cellularly, literally, you are craving negativity. Yeah. This is why some people love drama. Some people love, you can't understand why you just like to argue with me. Because you are a walking argument. And your body is saying, feed me arguments, feed me arguments.
You attract that in the
receptors in you pumping through your goddamn veins that's looking for hate chemical responses, or jealous chemical responses, or if you're insecure. So you feed off of, like when people say, you know, watch your thoughts, and your thoughts create your reality, it's creating you are cellularly as well.
That's facts, bro. That's why you don't argue with the negative shit.
Unfortunately, this is part of the awakening, is that you're going to realise there are no good guys in Hollywood. Now, I think Mel Gibson was originally a good guy, but the Mel Gibson we have now is not the Mel Gibson that we had originally. Look at his eyes, very, very different, have a very evil glint to them. The same as when I see pictures of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I just see pure evil. Whoever is playing Mel Gibson now is definitely not the same Mel Gibson that we had. Jim Caviezel, another one. But if you look at his necklace, it would appear that he is a member of the Knights Templar. A kind of organised fraternity, any kind of organised group like that would be the reason that he has his place in Hollywood. And these people all have to do something disgusting, something horrible to uphold their fame and their fortune. The reason they release The Sound of Freedom, and the reason I refuse to watch it, is you have to understand who and what you are. You are manifesting everything that you see and feel. That's what this is all about. You are a powerhouse. The only way that they can manifest things is through us. And so what they do is they show us images, they show us things that they want to manifest, and we use all of our emotions. Everything that we feel is creating the reality that they want. And this is all part of the bigger reason why we are trapped in a monetary system, a slave debt system. So long as you are tied to your desk or you're out working for 10, 12 hours a day, you are too exhausted to manifest the world that you deserve.
Let's look at where people go to survive resets. There have been at least 5 resets and people prepared to survive the last one. These so-called asylums were reset centers. Mainstream history states that they started building these asylums during the Civil War. Oregon became a state in 1859, yet they supposedly needed an insane asylum this big in 1862. Another massive one built in Alabama during the Civil War. These buildings were not for the clinically insane. They were either some sort of government building or hotel from the previous civilization before colonization. They were repurposed into fallout shelters or survival compounds. They were completely self-sustaining and off-grid. Many old world buildings were repurposed into survival shelters. This looks like a state capitol, not an insane asylum. These are palatial. Ultra-remote palaces, basically. Supposedly they were built as a part of the Kirkbride plan. Supposedly he didn't like the conditions of the clinically insane. But people were thrown into these asylums for a bunch of arbitrary reasons, including novel reading. They had been basically chaining people up for these reasons since the 1200s. People were chained up for thought crimes up until 1800. And there was profit in it because it's human trafficking. After the last major reset, people survived in these compounds, and then there were reset wars. The surviving fighters that were captured were thrown in these prisons. This is the Philadelphia State Penitentiary. This is a castle. If nobody told you this was a prison, you'd say it's a castle. Folsom State Prison in California, castle. West Virginia, this looks like Hogwarts. Utah, this is a castle. Kansas City, this looks like a state capital. And we have the Civil Reset War with its internment camps. And many of the people that didn't keep quiet about the fake Civil War were thrown in a soldier's home. And their children were taken and thrown in orphan asylums. The so-called colored orphan asylums were for the Aboriginals. The others were part of the orphan train and incubator baby campaigns. Many asylums were used as harems to produce these incubator babies. These were repopulation campaigns to fill the empty cities. The first wave of drones after the reset were sent in to extirpate the Aboriginal remnant. Generations of drones training drones, each generation knowing less than the last. Slavery was legalized after the Civil War with the 13th Amendment. You can legally enslave someone if you send them to prison or an asylum. Then the Rockefellers get involved with a chemical outpatient system. This leads us to Thorazine, or chemical control through dopamine receptors. Big money. It was used for anesthesia. It essentially makes you sleepwalk, or neuroleptic. They then proceeded to shut most of the asylums down because the world had become an asylum in itself. Prisons are a cashless society, and because these pesticides and herbicides and fungicides are basically subtle Thorazine, and the fake foods that contribute to inflammation and obesity do the same thing as well. They destroy the flow of neuromelanin, which numbs us into oblivion. Then the Bushes unleashed Hinckley on Reagan, and that was the death blow for insane asylums. But reset prep didn't stop. Zorro Ranch is an example of modern-day orphan asylums, just part of the perpetual parasite loop. The reset and Clone Wars. X-Men is actually more fact than fiction. Mutants taking over. Same thing with Hogwarts. This is clearly a depiction of meltology. Look at all the meltology in the foundation of this building. There's a reset, and then reset wars, and then the Aboriginal prisoners of war become enslaved. And then the identity theft proceeds.
I just found out that 40% of rain doesn't mean 40% of rain. It means 40% of the area of the city you're in will get rain. I didn't know that. And that really pisses me off.
Oh shit, bro. Pisses me off too. What's y'all thoughts, man? On the last clip, when he talking about what used to be castles and prisons, I gotta agree with him. They show Folsom. Free the homies out in Folsom. That ain't too far from here. Shit crazy though, bro. Shit crazy. I need to know y'all thoughts, man. How was today's rollout? Did y'all like it? Did y'all not like it? Y'all know we made it to the end of this, and if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every Smooth 7. This is for entertainment purposes as well, and when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you're watching ETV, whatever the case is. I wish it was Smooth 7. I love y'all, Collective. Till I see y'all in the next one, y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know what